Hey guys, welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to solve exponents with fractions and negative powers. Okay, so I'm going to start with my first example. So here I have x to the power of negative 2. So whenever you see something like this, we are going to apply this rule that says a to the power of negative m is just 1 over a raised to power m. So basically we just flip it. If you want to switch this exponent from negative to positive, we just flip it. So for this problem, what we are going to do is we are just going to flip this to make it a positive. So this just becomes 1 over x raised to power of 2. Okay, because x raised to power minus 2 can also be rewritten as x minus 2 over 1, and we are just flipping the numerator and the denominator. Because think of it this way, we can write any number as that number divided by 1, and if we want to flip that, we can just make the denominator the numerator and the numerator the denominator. So we are flipping x and 1 here, so 1 becomes the numerator and x becomes the denominator. Okay, now let's take another example. We have 3 to the power of negative 2. So we are going to apply the same thing. To make it a positive, we just flip this. So if it can be rewritten as 3 over 1 raised to power minus 2, and then this just becomes 1 over 3 square, and then 3 square is just 9. So this just becomes 1 over 9, and here's your answer. Okay, now let's take one more here. So let's say if you have something like this, 3 over 5, so we have a fraction here, and we want to calculate this whole thing to the power of negative 2. So again, we'll apply the same steps here. So we'll flip the numerator and the denominator. So it just becomes 5 over 3, and then this just becomes 2 from negative 2. And this just becomes 5 squared divided by 3 squared, because a over bm is just am divided by bm. So this just becomes 5 times 5 is 25 divided by 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so here's your solution. Now let's take one more example here. I have 27 to the power of negative 2 divided by 3. Okay, that's an interesting one, because here, okay, so we have 27 to the power of negative 2 by 3. So here, remember, if we have something like 2 over 3, the numerator, this number here, this is the power, and this is the root. So this will become 27. Let's just solve the root first. So we can rewrite this as, so first let's just flip this number from negative to positive. So we do the same thing. This just becomes 1 over 27 to the power of 2 by 3. And this just becomes, let's take the root first. So we can rewrite this as 27 to the power of 1 by 3. And this whole thing, we take the square because that's the power. Okay, and we can do it in any order. We can take the square first and then take the root. The order doesn't matter. So this is what we are doing basically. If we have a raised to power m n, this is simply a to the power of m, and then this whole root to the power of n. Okay, so this will just become, let me just get more space here. So this becomes 1 over, what is the cube root of 27? So what is 27 to the power of 1 by 3 is the same as taking the nth root of that number. So this is just cube root of 27. And what number time itself gives you 27 is 3, because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So 3 to the power of 3 is 27. So the cube root of 27 is 3. Okay, so this just becomes 3, and then we have a square here. So this just becomes 1 over 9, and here's your answer. Okay, so this is your answer. We could also, the order does not matter. We could also take the square first and then the root. We can also say this is equal to 1 over 27 square, and then this whole thing to the power of 1 by 3. But here we have a bigger number where we have to calculate the square first. So let me just use a calculator. This just becomes 1 over 729, and then we take the cube root of 729. So, and 729 cube root is 9, because 9 times 9 times 9 is 729. So this also becomes 1 over 9. So the order doesn't matter, but you have to decide like which one to pick first. So here it was easier to take the cube root first and then take the square of that number. Okay, so this is how you solve exponents with fractions and negative powers. If you found this helpful, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you guys have any questions. Thank you for watching.